Africa, The Tree of Life by Cathy Achilles. Oh, Alkebulan, how I love you. You are the cradle of humanity. If satellites could turn into speakers, I would broadcast into the universe that you have never been a dark continent. Even on a stormy day, the sun still shines in Africa. You endured so much trauma. You were beaten to a pulp. You watched Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, Dulce September, and many more die in the murderous fire of liberation, trying to restore you to your former glory. Your children was taken from you. Their cries can still be heard at the door of no return. You were robbed of your wealth, and you were left looking like a pauper. Yet, poverty is not your identity. You are God's treasure vault. The Queen of Sheba brought 120 talents of gold to King Solomon. 4.5 tons of gold as a gift from Ethiopia shows the magnitude of your wealth. They try to divide us into sub-Saharan Africa versus Middle East and North Africa, not knowing that in unity we will find our strength. Violence is not your ethos. God trusted Africa with the infant Jesus Christ when his life was in danger. The formative years of the Word become flesh were spent in Africa. How could 1652 be credited for bringing the gospel of Jesus Christ to Africa? The gospel which prophets and teachers like Simeon called Niger, spelled with one G, and Lucius of Cyrene, a Libyan who spread the gospel in the church of Antioch. Africa, you are the epicenter of education, with the Timbuktu manuscripts as you call. Your children were never illiterate, even though intruders destroyed your ancient scrolls. They could not destroy our tongues. Universities were founded on your foundation, way before Plato's academy. Historians want to call us uncivilized imbeciles, yet we carry with us untapped wisdom. The great Zimbabwean ruins serve as an open-air museum of the great empires of Africa. Eco-friendly air conditioning houses were built by the Khoi and the sun. They called it huts, we call it homes, that protected them from the scorching sun and drenching rain. Like 12 in one masala, I have different nations running through my veins. My ancestry is as colorful as the minstrels on Second New Year in the Cape. Maybe that is why I'm legislatively called colored. Slaves from different nations were brought to bring division, because divide and conquer that is how they roll. Only for slaves to unify by creating Afrikaans. They called them drosters for running away, risking death and torture. Yet, they called themselves Afrikaners because they did not belong to any tribe anymore. They are people of the soil. They are Africans. Teen Summit and Young Brother and Sister magazine taught me to be proud of my African heritage. The Kwanzaa candles brought light into my dark apartheid, indoctrinated education. African Journal taught me your beauty, which were tainted by media and academia. Samora Machel taught me that the struggle continues. With every obstacle that arises, I will use it as bricks to build a prosperous Africa. Like the psalmist said, Egypt will come with envoys, and, and Ethiopia will stretch out her hands to you. You will heal yourself from centuries old traumas, because the roots of the tree of life runs through your soul. Wakanda might look like a fantasy, but with the African Union's Agenda 2063 as a campus, you will flourish, you will grow into the tree of life, which will give shade to the world.